sì, sì.
Accorciare, sì, ok.
Beh, io non so cosa farò.
Sì, vedi tu se vuoi accorciare anche tu, se no non stiamo...
Io?
No, no, stiamo parlando.
No, 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 ma io accorcerò anch'io, non mi prezzo, sono molto flessibile.
Ok, diciamo che partiamo.
Sì.
Possiamo partire con lo streaming. Good morning, everyone. Thanks to be here. I'm Erika Bertazzo, twinning counselor of the municipality of Este. Thanks for your presence. It's very important. Today it's the first meeting of a European project named Action that is funded by the European Union. Este is the main coordinator, but then we have a lot of partners, Italian partners, the municipality of Granze, we have here the mayor, then also the province of Padua, and foreign partners, especially the city of Bad Windsheim, Germany, the city of Tapolza, Hungary, and the twinning committee of Pertuis, France. But we have also a lot of stakeholders here, especially citizens, young people, students from Italian and foreign schools, associations that are really important, and citizens in general. This is important because this project deals with the sense of belonging to the European Union, to be part of it as active citizens. So it's important to understand your thoughts to continue this important project. I want only to say thanks to all of you, but also to the people that have organized this first meeting, especially the Twinning Committee of Este, our partners, all the twinning cities, the Cultural Office of the Municipality of Este, in particular Paolo Berton, and thanks to all that are you, and it's the time to begin with the meeting. Thanks a lot to all of you.
Good morning to all of you, and thank you for participating this morning. It is a pleasure to see a lot of people all over the world. So thank you to our twinning city which are here today, and thank you to all of you. First of all, to our twinning committee, as the twinning committee, who works a lot for this event. The aim of this project is to link together European cities in order to build relationships and increase our sense of belonging as European citizens. The topic of this morning is the sense of belonging for this reason, and the first part will be deal with European identity and will be held by Samuele Barbiere, which is a research fellow in European Union Law of University of Ferrara in the Department of Law, followed by Professor Cristiana Fioravanti. Then some members of our twin cities and our committee will present our cities and our activities. And in the last part of this morning, we have some associations of our territory which will present themselves. So now the word to Samuele.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. Thank you, Erika. I have to. Sorry, Yeah. Okay, well deserved. I think that the mayor of Grenze could go up on the stage, please, before my speech.
Thank you. Buongiorno a tutti, grazie di questo invito. Grenze è un piccolo paese, noi abbiamo 1900 abitanti. Se non ci fosse un progetto così saremmo uno dei tanti paesi della Bassa Padovana. Invece, grazie a questi progetti europei noi abbiamo la possibilità di far parte di una grande famiglia. Io non voglio rubarvi altro tempo, provo a dire anch'io qualcosa in inglese anche se sono scarsissimo e vi chiedo scusa per questo. Grenze is a small village, but we have a big heart. I love you.
Thank you, Mayor. I think that the Mayor exemplified very well the sense of this day, that is the belonging to the European Union and the proudness to be European. As Beatrice has just said, I am Samuele Barbieri, Research Fellow in European Union Law, the University of Ferrara, but first of all, I would like to thank Comune di Este for having me today and giving me this extraordinary opportunity to discuss about an issue that I think it will be of growing importance, that is the European identity, but I also have to thank personally Erika for following me in organizing this event and in preparing my speech. Okay, European identity. We have today a very tough question to answer. We have a very tough mission today, that is to define and to grasp the nature of what is European identity. We today in European Union, after the withdrawal of the United Kingdom, so after the Brexit, we are today 27 different member states. So how even it is possible to talk about European identity? We have very different political system, very different economies. We drink coffee in very different way. Our food on our tables are very different. Our habits, our religions, the good that we pray are different in some cases. So how it is possible to talk about European identity? That is common values that link together a population of 500 million today, that is the European population. This is the topic that today we have to tackle. So, but before talking about European identity, we have to agree or to disagree on what is or not is the European Union. European Union today is a supranational organization formed by 27 member states, and as you see, the population of the European Union is 500 million, and European Union is one of the wealthier and richest parts in our planet. But why the European Union was created by, at the origin, only 6 member states? And now I want pointing very clearly to my fellows Italian, we have to be very proud to being the founder of the European Union, among others 5 at the time member states. So the birth of Europe is 9 May 1950 with the famous Schuman Declaration. Who was Robert Schuman? Robert Schuman was the French Minister of Foreign Relations of the Gaulle government, the Gaulle cabinet at the time of the French Republic. And the Schuman Declaration, that is the starting point of the process of European integration. Why is it so important? Because its content was quite simple, but is genius in its insight. Schuman understood that in order to overcome hostilities, disparities between European people, it would be necessary to integrate our economy, because every word starts from economy, for economy matter, for an economic question. And for this reason that this insight, intuition by Robert Schuman, 2 years later led to the signing of the Treaty of Paris, through which 6 European states at the time established the European Coal and Steel Community. Coal and steel, the main raw materials for rebuilding of Europe after the Second World War. This is not a lesson of European Union law. This is a lecture, sorry, of European Union law. I don't want to bother you with unuseful legal notions, but I think it is very important to define the main feature of the European Union in order to understand the identity of the European Union. The Treaty of Paris, so the European Coal and Steel Community, was such a successful project that only some years later, the same 6 member states decided to establish a more far-reaching cooperation and a deeper cooperation between them. And the 6 founder member states were, as you know, France, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, Italy, and West Germany, because as you know, it's common knowledge, after the Second World War, Germany was divided in 2 parts, one under the ruling of the United States and the other one under the direct influence of the Soviet Union. So, as I promised, no lecture of European Union law, but some very basic notions, that European Union so is a supranational organization. In few words, it means that European Union receive power, sovereign powers by the member state that gives this power toward the Union in order to achieve common goal. Reflect upon that. Common goal that the member state alone cannot reach without the help of other member states. Let's think to climate change, geopolitical tension, technologies innovation. This is only dossier task that a single member state cannot reach in our global scenario. This is simple. And so these are the main institutions of the European Union. The European Parliament represents the citizen. In June, will be an election to the European Parliament. The European Commission representing the interest of the Union itself. And finally, the EU Council of Ministers and the European Council gathering together the head of state of government that so represent the government of the member states. Now, the main topic of my speech and the main topic of our beautiful day here, a reflection about the sense of belonging to the European Union. It could exist an European identity, because as I said in my introduction, we are today 27 different member states. So it's possible to sustain, it is possible to claim that a European identity exists. I think so, and I am not only one. But first of all, what is identity? And we have to open a dictionary or more dictionary. According to Oxford Dictionary and also to Cambridge Dictionary, identity is who or what somebody or something is. Cambridge Dictionary, in my opinion, is a more precise definition and a more useful definition for our task. That is, identity is things that make one person or group of people different from others. For instance, a sense of national identity. In fact, also on this stage, we see different flags. Flags is the symbol itself of the belonging to a nation. And I would be very clear on this point. I don't think that the sense of national identity is wrong per se. Even the European Union has a legal duty to respect the national identity. In fact, in Article 4, Paragraph 2 of the Treaty of the European Union claims that European Union shall respect the national identities of the member state. I think that is wrong when national identity lies in nationalism. So in the use of national identity in order to divide human beings and to discriminate human beings. The fact is that European identity is exactly the opposite concept. European identity is a concept to unite people, to make cooperation, to make integration, not to divide and to discriminate the groups of people. So, the European identity is based on fundamental values. That is, values that are deep-rooted in our cultural heritage, in our history, in our legal tradition, in our philosophical think of we, the Europeans. And you think that in Copenhagen Declaration, the head of state and government at the time of the only 10 member states listed these values that were very precisely, and today we find these values, we read these values in Article 2 of the Treaty on the European Union. I have to say you that European Union today is based on a sort of constitutional agreement. That is, these 27 member states sign this contract, this agreement, this bargain between each other. And the TU, the Treaty on the Union, is this agreement, is this fundamental agreement upon which is built our European Union. So, as I promised, Article 2 of the TEU. We read together that the drafters of the treaty, that is the 27 member states, claim that the union, so our union, our common home, our common roof, is founded on the values of respect for human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, the rule of law, respect for human rights, including the right of person belonging to minorities. And these values are common to the member states, and pay attention to this last period, in a society in which pluralism, non-discrimination, tolerance, justice, solidarity, and equality between women and men prevail. A society where these values are able to prevail, So, I chose to select some images or pictures in order to show and to exemplify words by words, values by values, the fundamental values of European Union that form part of our common heritage, so of our common identity as European. In substance, European identity means what makes we the Europeans, despite our national differences. Respect for human dignity. I chose I think one of the most famous sketches of Leonardo da Vinci, the Vitruvian Man, l'uomo vitruviano, that is the symbol of the Renaissance itself. It means that in European society, the individual, so man or women, has not a dignity as part and parcel of a society, of a group of people, but the individual matter for himself or herself. It at the center of the stage of the public power, of the public discourse. That is the point. Freedom. And obviously we have to start by French Revolution. Why freedom? Why freedom? I think that we can all agree on the fact that in European society we can be free of express our political view, free of express ourselves, and this is a very important values because in Europe we are not subjugate to a king or a queen without constitutional guarantee, without rights, but we are free citizens able to participate to public life and also to influence the decision of the top of our political system. That is so another important values. Democracy. Democracy is a very important word that derives from the ancient Greek. It is formed by two ancient Greek terms, literally demos plus kratia. In a good English translation means the power of the people, but I think that it's not completely correct. It's not only the power of the people, but the power exercised by the people, through the people, so to the people representative, for the people. So able to change the life of the people, to influence the daily life of the population upon which the political system rule. And Europe is the land of democracy, and I beg you to believe me, Europe, except for some exception like United States and other states around the world, are the land of democracy. So democracy in our global scenario is not the gold rule, but it is the exception. We have to be very clear that in mind. Equality. This is a picture of an Italian drawer of I think of the end of the 19th century, Pellizza da Volpeto, and Pellizza da Volpeto wanted to represent the fourth state, as he called it, so the working class that marched together in order to claim rights. Equality is a principle that is enshrined in every member state's constitution. My Italian fellow surely know that in Italian constitution, one of the most loved Italian constitutional principle is the principle of equality enshrined in Article 3 of the Constitution, that in Italian is ognuno è uguale davanti alla legge. That in an English translation literally means everyone is equal before the law. The principle of equality, that is a European principle, implies that no matter your social background, no matter the God or the gods that you pray, no matter the color of your skin, no matter your age, your ability or your disability, no matter, as I just said, your social condition, no matter your political beliefs, your sex, or your sexual orientation, you are equal before the law. You are equal before the law. This is another important European values. And I think that it's not correct to do a rating between the values, but rule of law is my preferred European values. you see in this slide the portrait of Montesquieu. Montesquieu was an important philosopher, French philosopher during the Enlightenment, and Montesquieu wrote down a masterpiece of the European thing, that is l'esprit de la loi. Correct, my friends, fellows? Okay, l'esprit de la loi, sorry for my French pronunciation, and in Italian is lo spirito delle leggi, in English is the spirit of the law. And Montesquieu believed that a state could work properly only when it's based on a tripartition of power. So we have a legislative powers that makes the law, we have an executive power that executes and also, how can I say, administrative the lives of the citizen, and then the judiciary, that is most important for we, the European society. The judiciary power, that is group of courts and tribunal before which we can bring an action in order to guarantee, in order to protect our right. And for the reason is important that also the Court of Justice of European Union claim repeatedly, and I think that it's right, claim repeatedly that it's important that the European member state has a judiciary system with independent and impartial judges, because are the guarantee of our existence, of our civil existence in Europe. And finally, human rights. I chose Guernica of Pablo Picasso because I think that the war is the denegation itself of the human rights. It's very simple to explain the concept of human rights. Human rights are rights that pertain to human beings for the simple fact of being humans, for the simple fact of being human beings. Let's think to freedom of expression, freedom to access, no freedom, sorry, right to access to healthcare. Today in our global world, with the development of the technologies, the right to personal data, so the right to pertain our personal data that we share on the platform, or internet and so on. And today the European Union has the Charter of Fundamental Rights, that is a Bill of Rights that lists the human rights for the European citizens. And what I would underline in particular, that Article 1 of the Charter, if I remember well, claimed the right to life. And I'm very proud to say on this stage that European Union is made up by member states where the death penalty is banned, is abolished. This is a European, I think, great achievement. So someone could claim that these are only a moral commitment. Yes, Article 2 of the European Union, it's very important, of course, but a total moral commitment. It's not taken very seriously by European states, but it's not true. This is my last slide, and then I give the floor to the other speaker. Article 49 of the TU regulates, rule the accession of new European state to the Union. And read the first period. Article says that any European state will respect the values referred in Article 2 that we have just seen, and is committed to promoting them, may apply to become a member of the Union. To respect the values that form our European identity, and promoting them represent a critical condition in order to join the European Union. So I hope to have demonstrated to you that the things that unite us are far more than the things that divide us as European. Thank you very much for hearing me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Samuele. And thanks also to Cristiana Fioravanti, your professor. That is a really nice person, so say... Okay. I give...
So thank you. So now we would like to talk about our participation on European Union activities with twinnings. It is the way we build relationships between our cities, and every year we continue to forge relationship between our cities to become friends. So first of all, we would like to talk about Este for those who are visiting us for the first time. So Este is a city about 15,000 citizens on the northeast of Italy, and it is placed on a very strategic position because it is about 1 hour from a lot of important cities like Venice, Verona, Vicenza, and Padua. And from the seaside, the mountains, and also the biggest lake in Italy, Garda Lake. Last but not least, it is located at the foot of the Euganian Hills. And its history is very ancient. It is thought that it's the first settlements date back on the Iron Age. And so the cities later became Roman cities and reached its peak during the rule of Obertenghi, whose son became the House of Estensi. So for this reason, Este, here you can find a lot of archaeological sites, and in our museum you can see some of the most important archaeological finds of the entire regional territory. And immersed in the nature, the village are famous for their typical narrow streets, castle, and ancient churches. Last but not least, here the cuisine is to be discovered. So a strong gastronomic tradition of wine and oils. So here some photos. And so we have another important tradition, the pottery craft. And this tradition has survived over the centuries, and Este is still a reference point of this processing ceramics. A tradition that binds us to many of our twin cities present here today. You can see from the image there are several ceramic companies, each with its own style as a real trademark. So we talk about links between Este and its twin cities. Here you can see our 7 twinnings built over the years with the commitment to each twinning committee has invested in weaving these important reports. So we can find Bad Windsheim from Germany, Bethlehem in Palestine, Fredericksburg, USA, Leek in UK, Pertuis in France, Rijeka in Croatia, and Tapolca in Hungary. Now we want to give the possibility to each city to present itself and present their view about what is the sense of belonging. And we will use the alphabetical order. So for this reason, we would like to start with Bad Windsheim. So.
That's not our presentation.
Yes. You can move with this.
Okay. Thank you. Ja, wer will das Ding machen? Hello everyone, and welcome to our presentation about our city Bad Windsheim. I'm Madeleine Meyer.
Yes, well, my name is Anjali. I'm 15 years old. I live in Bad Windsheim since 15 years, obvious. And yes.
Yeah, I'm Marcel Schwebel.
My name is Sophie Schuh.
So our school. Well, here you can see our school. It's a pretty small school. We are going to a commercial school. It's a pretty different type than the other schools in whole Germany. Here you can see a picture of our classroom and our classmates. Yes, what we do in our school, we learn special things that not everyone learns at every school. For example, in German, Steuererklärung, you do something with the text that nobody understands. Yes.
Yes, then we have some information about our city. The name is obviously Bad Windsheim. We are from Germany and the region is Franconia. Near to our city is the Steinbruchsee, the Aisch River, and we have very many vineyards. Our city is famous for the Frankentherme and the Kurpark, and typical traditions in our city is the Kirchweih. Famous festivals which are in our city are also das Altstadtfest, Weinturm Open Air, Frühlingsfest und Kirchweih. Curiosities in our city is the Landesgartenschau and the Frankentherme. And here you can see a picture from the top of our city, and there in the right corner you can see our school. We have some pictures of our city. On the left picture you can see the Schöne Brunnen. In English it would be the beautiful spring. And on the right picture you can see a little view over our city.
Yes, here you can see some festivals in our city. On the left you can see the cannabis streets. This means that many couches are on the streets and you can go shopping to the end. And on the right you can see the Frühlingsfest. This is like a festival in the spring where you can have many fun. Yeah.
Well, what's really popular for Bad Windsheim is the Freiland Museum as well. Here you can see two pictures of the Freiland Museum, but what is the Freiland Museum? Well, the Freiland Museum is a museum, obvious, and you can see houses from the old time. That means they don't get built completely new, they're getting breakdown from different cities in whole Germany and getting rebuilt the original way in the Freiland Museum. You can also have some workshops there, like baking bread in the old times, or you can go with your classmates to the Freiland Museum and have a little workshop how the school was in the times then.
Here you can see our Kurpark. This Kurpark is next to the hospital, and there are many people to regenerate from the operation. For the kids there is a playground and you can look at animals, and on Sundays there is sometimes a concert for old people or yes.
Well, what's also really popular, especially for tourists who visit Bad Windsheim, is the Frankentherme. The Frankentherme is really popular because there's a salt sea that has a salt degrees of 30%, as much as the Death Sea, so pretty high. And you can see that there are even lights in the evening, and right here is the Salt Sea, and there are often many people who just want to relax and have a little spa there, so it's pretty interesting and pretty cool.
What points do we have in common with Este? So at first we have a friendship with Este since 29 years. Both cities are pretty old. Our was found in the medieval times. Your is obviously a little bit older. We also have both very interesting festivals, for example, medieval festivals. You can see a medieval festival in our city on this picture, for example. Yeah, what are our twinning committee activities? So the objective of the twinning committee activities is to have a cooperation between our countries and to have a cultural exchange. We have a partnership since 1995. We both have another partnership with a French city. Our French partnership, for example, is Saint-Yrier-la-Perche. I hope I spelled it correctly. Yeah, and we do have a student exchange. That's why we are here. Thanks for listening and your attention.
We also want to thank you, the mayor of Bad Windsheim, for the beautiful pictures, because he's a photographer. And we also want to thank you for the opportunity to be here in Este with all of you, to have a traditional and really, really interesting cultural exchange. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So unfortunately, our friends from Bethlehem cannot be here. No, we have another presentation of Bad Windsheim. Sorry.
So good morning to you all, and mainly to the dear friends of the sister city of Este. A special thank to our mayor, Matteo Paiola, to the councillor Erika Bertazzo, and Ms. Beatrice Picelli, chief of the twinning committee. Please forgive my English, I'm not a mother tongue speaker, but I'm sure you'll understand and you'll forgive me. I'm here speaking on behalf of the Friends of Bethlehem, the Nativity Church. They couldn't come this year in Este, and you can imagine why. I'm glad to bring here their warm greetings and hugs to you all, to us all. In Bethlehem, they are having troubles. Serious troubles. Anyway, Bethlehem is the universal symbol of hope, the Nativity, church again. Hope and peace, and from there they want to send us all this vision of life and history. I usually keep in touch with them, friends both Christian and Muslims, and I have been struck by their vision and sentiment. Although the serious troubles, they have told me that peace and justice, we need to search first of all inside ourselves, trying to avoid hatred and resentment on both sides. If we want to build peace out of us in the society, in our society. The twinning started about 20 years ago, thanks to Vanni Mengotto, then mayor of Este, and Don Orlando Zampieri, the parish priest of our church. He used to take pilgrims in the Holy Land, meet the Patriarch of Jerusalem, and in that way, the idea of twinning was born. A twinning that could set Este not just in an international dimension, yet also in a symbolical, spiritual bond with a place known as the birthplace of Jesus, place of peace and hope for good-willing people. And we all, I'm sure, we all are men and women of goodwill. aren't we? Unfortunately, geopolitical situation prevented us from performing many initiatives in the past years. Yet, when all these troubles will be finished, because we all know that empires usually end, yet people remain. When all this will be finished, we all have been invited to get to Bethlehem and celebrate with them. Friendship is a reliable and important matter. And people of Bethlehem are reliable people and very affectionate. For them, the twinning is not just a formal or rhetoric rite to be consumed once a year. Yet, something very important for their communities and young generation. Nicest in fiore to us, to you all, and thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Giuseppe. Now we have our friends of Bad Windsheim, for his sense of opportunity.
So, hello everybody. We are students at the Georg Wilhelm Steller Gymnasium in Bad Windsheim, and today we would like to show you what Europe means to us as young Europeans.
Yes, so let's start with the E for influence. The European Union has a big impact on our everyday life. Sometimes things that are quite obvious to us, like our currency, the euro. We all know that every country that is a part of the EU has the euro as the currency or is offered to adopt to it. However, a lot of things aren't this obvious to us. For example, the laws and regulations that we see all the time, but don't realize are official EU regulations. Like the organic seal, which tells you that your food is grown naturally, or the energy label to help you choose energy efficient products, or the CE mark, that means your products are safe. The EU's role as a global player and its position in world politics also has an impact not only on us, but on the whole world. We are one of the largest donors of development aid for third world countries and also for aid packages for Ukraine. We are leading in environmental policy, which is also reflected in our role in the Paris Agreement. Thanks to having such good cooperation within the EU, we have also become the largest single market in the world, which brings with it great economic power.
The U of Europe shall represent the future on which we will take a look at now. For many young people, it is clear what they want to do in the future, and the European Union has got many opportunities to offer for us. Exchange years or studying abroad is very common and popular with young adults. But in order for this to still be possible in the future, we need a few things. First, we need financial stability that facilitates the future of Europe and also supports exchanges that build a strong bond between all the countries and strengthen the community of young people. We need more exchanges, no matter if they're educational, cultural, social, or athletic. With more exchanges of any kind, we will have a faster progress and greater economic stability that will increase Europe's strength and improve the future.
Yes,
So for the Hour of Europe, I'm going to talk about partnership and specifically about exchanges and town twinnings and their benefits. First of all, exchanges promote peace and education above all. When you live in a family from another country, you can get to know and understand their culture and learn about a country or a city in general. This can drastically reduce the prejudices you have about a country, or you can make friendships that can last, which is easier now more than ever because of the internet and all of its possibilities. And there are also economic benefits for cities, especially because of the tourism which is caused by exchanges or other events like the one we are at right now. All those people visiting a foreign city and doing activities there will help the tourism flourish. Another economic aspect is the possibility for trade relations between two cities, which guarantees a buyer for certain goods or investments that can be made by one of the cities involved.
So now we move on to the O of Europe. It stands for the opportunities. In general, there are many opportunities we have because of the European Union, like the Schengen Agreement that allows us to travel to any country within the EU without border controls. That's why we are here. And other agreements make it easy to work and live across national borders. The EU also supports education, research and innovation programs that enable individuals to upskill, learn new skills and develop innovative projects. Our infrastructure is so good that we can also go to hospitals in different countries without any problems and only one health insurance card. As our Italian speaker said before, the EU also has put a lot of emphasis on data protection with new laws, so we don't have to worry about that anyone could read our texts. At last, a very important point is the protection of consumers and workers. So the EU has set consumer and worker rules to protect us. For example, in the single market, we have a minimum wage across the whole Europe, across whole Europe.
Let's move on to the letter P as in politics. Politics in relation to Europe also plays an important role. First of all, the European Union consists of 27 European countries in general. The goal of the European Union is to make people's lives easier and safer. Therefore, its core values are the following: respect for human rights, freedom, democracy, equality, and the rule of law. The European Parliament ensures that those goals are met. It consists of the representatives from each country. They come together regularly to represent the interests of the citizens of the EU. You are allowed to vote the deputy if you are at least 16 years old. The election takes place every 5 years and in all EU member states. This year you can vote on the 9th of June.
Last but not least, we come to the letter E. When I hear the word Europe, I also associate it with peace. Peace is truly remarkable in Europe, especially considering its history of conflicts. For the past 70 years, Europe has experienced a period of relative peace, thanks to the efforts of various institutions and countries working together. One of the crucial moments for European peace was the establishment of the European Union. The EU was founded with the goal of promoting peace, stability, and cooperation between its member states. By fostering economic integration and encouraging dialogue, the EU has played a crucial role in preventing conflicts and maintaining peace. Peace in Europe is not only about the absence of war, but also about promoting understanding and cooperation between nations.
So, thank you for your attention and the opportunity we have to come here. And like the Italians would say, ciao.
Thank you very much. So now it's the time for Frederiksburg, but first we have a little speech.
Yes, for us it's important also to understand the sense of belonging of other cities in the world to their nation and their territories, their continent. And so I wanted to explain this thing through our researcher.
Thank you again, Erika. Thank you, Beatrice. Right, we have explained today, we have dialogue about European identity, but European Union and European identity is only a small part of the story, only a piece of the story. I think that European identity is only a part of a global scenario that we call the Western world. And so also our friends of the United Kingdom and our friends of the United States have part of this common heritage and these common scenarios of values that today we'll try to explain. It's, for example, it's a news of these days that finally European Union and Great Britain started again to draft a framework for the from the Erasmus between the Brit students and our students in order exactly to permit this exchange of young peoples between Great Britain and Europe. So let's say that we are divided by an ocean, we are divided by the English Channel, but how strong are today our relationship? And I think this is a very, very important heritage that we are leaving to the future generation of our Western world. Thank you again.
So, Massimo, if you want to come.
Good morning to everybody. I'm Massimo Giordano. Here I have close with me Miss Mary Catherine Grivero, that she was for a long time the mayor of the city of Frederiksburg. Now I'm going to talk about Frederiksburg. Frederiksburg is twinned with Este about from 2014 and is a city in Virginia. If we keep going with the presentation, please. Excuse me. I apologize. Okay. Frederiksburg, I'm coming there because I don't see so far. Thank you. Okay. Frederiksburg is, like I said, is a city situated in Virginia State. It's just south of Washington. Is between Washington, D.C. and Richmond. At the time, you see is an area, low Piedmont high treatware, mountain lakes, and the seas, a river on the fault line, like you read there. And the curiosity is very connected with Este because it's a strategic place where is situated Frederiksburg. Frederiksburg is, like I said, between Washington, D.C. and Richmond. Is a beginning of the American history, is some of the oldest cities, obviously with the we don't compare the history of the United States like a European state, but it's more older than 300 years, and they live there like around, excuse me, I pressed the lost button. And they live there like 15,000 people, 25,000 people. It's so famous in the United States for the war, the civilian war. It was the borderline between the Union and the Confederation. Frederiksburg was under the Confederation state at the time, and the capital was Richmond. The capital of the Union was Washington, D.C., and is so famous for one very crude battlefield, and where in the one battlefield there died like 15,000 people in 3 days, and Frederiksburg is so famous for that. You can see this is different. This is a very active city. This is a very tourist city, more than 1,500,000 people that are going to visit Frederiksburg every year. And it's so famous for tourism, history, restaurant, great downtown and fun. Very nice cities, though you can find a type of a restaurant for many different culture. Like in the Caroline Street is the main street of Fredericksburg. You can find a different restaurant, Italian, Indian, French, and all the type. The common point with Este is love on food and the wine restaurant, the history, love history, live tourism, similar population, sites, many festivals and historic town. And most of famous made from Fredericksburg Este Cities Association is the Pizza Palooza. And the twin activity with Este and Fredericksburg, we make the Outlook exchange in the past time. If you go to the parking lot, where we had the Campo Comunale in Este, you can see the mural there. We have the lady that she made this mural about the friendship. Is this one? Was made from Miss Katie Handon. He's here with us too today. And it does to improve the friendship between Este and the Fredericksburg, but like, because we are here to increase the friendship, the sense of the belong to be part of the community, of the European community, in their case to Americans. Fredericksburg, this is the association activity, La Befana celebration, wine and cheese tasting, lecture series, annual meeting, outdoor exchange, student exchange, Pizza Palooza, and the Carter Memorial Concert. Okay. Now I give the microphone to Miss Mary Catherine Grillo, discussing about the identity of Be American.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Massimo. And thank you all. It is always a joy to be here in this lovely city and with all of your other cities that we are getting to know. I was given the topic of talking about American identity, or what it means to be an American today, and to take into consideration what it means to generations coming forward. The generations coming along will know a different world than those of my generation knew in many ways. And the young people that I know in America today, and I consulted first my granddaughter, an 18-year-old freshman at an American university. And we have a university in Fredericksburg, and I interact with those students often. Our students are engaged and concerned about discerning the truth from all the multiple sources of information coming at them. That is a main concern they express to me. And the other is their fear that people don't listen to each other or don't want to. We are trying very hard in America to live up to our declaration that all men are created equal, that life and liberty are valued in our country. We share the values of the European Union in our declarations and our Constitution. We are experiencing in our hometown of Fredericksburg, our historic town, as Massimo said, the foundations of our country started in Fredericksburg. Our first president, George Washington, lived there. But we are trying very hard to be honest about our history. As James Baldwin, the American author, said, history isn't history because it is present within us. It informs our attitudes and even our very actions many times. We are trying to recognize the great strength of our country, which is our diversity. We are a nation of immigrants. We continue to have immigrants joining us. We are recognizing the influence of that peculiar institution of slavery, how much that has influenced certain areas of our country and its culture today. And we are trying to appreciate even more the contribution of our African American citizens and to recognize and respect our Native Americans, those who were here centuries ago when Europeans settled what is now the United States. I think we are at one of the so-called hinges of history, at a very significant time in the history of our nation, perhaps in the world. And it is all about trying to be honest with ourselves, honest with each other, as to what really matters, as to the contributions of so many that make us into a great nation, trying hard to be truly democratic and a good contributing member of the rest of the world and with their friends in the European Union. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we have some friends from Leek, UK.
Okay, now we're talking about Leek. Leek is twinned with Este about from more than 20 years, and is a town situated in the Morans state between, we can say, Manchester and Stoke-on-Trent, the north east of England. They live there more than 21,000 people. It's a very active city. It's some of the oldest city in England. It's more older than 800 years. His market is so famous in England because the market is started more than 800 years ago. He has in common with us the different things. The strategic place is in the middle of the park. Is called the Queen of Moorlands. Is some of the very nice countryside around the typical countryside from England. And there's many activity like pottery and some other strategies. Different culture and different events was organized in this last 20 years, like the commemoration for remembrance in November. We're gonna go with the Combat Association from Este to take part of their remembrance, and they came here to take part of our remembrance in November for remember our fallen soldier. After we make an extension, a different association created different opportunity to exchange with the lake. In the last one, I can say, for example, the Vespa Club of Este, where I'm a part of them, we made a very good friendship with another local, their scooter club is just a scooter club. And this is the common with the lake. Now I give the word to Mr. Bill Cowell. He's talking about the British.
Well, thank you. I'll introduce myself. My name is Bill Cowley. I'm the former mayor of Leek. I'm a councillor, a Labour councillor in Leek, and I'm responsible for communities as my sort of part of my sort of responsibilities. Firstly, I'd like to thank the Mayor of Fredericksburg for a really excellent contribution. I thought it was a very potent contribution that she made. And I also like to thank the contribution made by the German students from Bad Widsheim. I don't think the European Union has anything to fear with such young and vibrant and active and interesting young people as the young people from Germany. I thought their contributions were first rate. And again, thank you for that. I should start with an apology. I was only told last night that a contribution was required from me. So I'll try to make this as contribution as clear and cogent, and apologies to our American cousins, as clear and cogent and perhaps more than a speech from either Presidents Trump or Biden. So let's hope that my contributions are received in such a light. I should also say that as tomorrow is my 69th birthday, I'm a mere stripling in these affairs in terms of American politics, it would seem. Anyway, to return to the question. The question concerns European identity, it concerns the EU, and it concerns a sense of belonging. And I found the comments made by the professor at the beginning really, really interesting. Clearly, in the context of leak in the UK, we have the issue of June 2016 and the Brexit vote. But I'll come to that in a moment. I thought the map that the professor suggested of the European Union was a very sad one, with a gap where the United Kingdom used to be. But this comes to the heat of the question. As I said, I'm answering a question by posing a question. Is a European identity and membership of the EU essential? Is it compatible? Well, possibly no. One of the gaps was Norway. I lived in Norway in the 1970s. Norway is not in the European Union. Neither is another Scandinavian country, Iceland. Two other Scandinavian countries are, obviously, Denmark and Sweden. They are both but they have a common identity, a Scandinavian identity. So I think in the context of an identity, there are various other identities, cultural identities, that make up the European whole. And really to answer, I've just been reading a history of the Ottoman Empire, and that is quite an interesting idea. Can, for example, there be a Turkish element to European identity? A lot of the Ottoman Empire included the Balkans. It regarded itself as Rumi, the third Rome, for example. So there is the issue of Turkey, and whether, given its history, given the history in the Balkans, whether there is a Turkish element to European Union. But anyway, I may have a conversation with the professor after that, after the break. So, to leak. Leak, I'll put it on the table straight away. Leak voted around roughly 65% in favor of leaving the European Union in late June 2016. So it has to be put in that sort of context. And I was really interested in what Bo had to say about archaeology, because I think there's a clue in terms of that area of North Staffordshire and its openness to sort of immigration and waves of people coming into it. I'll say there are two archaeological finds in the area. One was an enamel bowl that belonged to a Roman legionnaire called Draco, which is found at a village called Alstonfield. It's currently in the British Museum. It dates from roughly around 130 AD. It's an enamel bowl. It was given to this Draco who'd served on Hadrian's Wall. All the forts of Hadrian's Wall are inscribed on the enamel bowl. Draco was probably a Greek or came from Thrace, which is now modern-day Bulgaria. So he obviously established a residence in the Staffordshire moorlands sometime around the year 130 AD. Then, at the end of the 19th century, a Cairo, which is a sort of a spoon with a peace sign, a P and a cross, was found at a place called Biddulph Moor. This dates from around 300 AD, and it was the personal sign. It was made of silver. It was the personal sign of Constantine the Great. So some early Christian pilgrim must have been in the area around about 360 AD. So what I'm saying is an area like Leek, an area like the Staffordshire Moorlands, has had its sort of wave of immigration and people moving in and out of its area. More recently, Leek has welcomed Belgian refugees after the First World War, and it has a sizable Polish community. It's also welcomed Hungarians after the 1956 uprising, and more recently Ukrainians. So rather like the mayor of Fredericksburg said, a town like Leek, although it comprises of roughly around 96-97% white British people, has welcomed people from other parts of Europe and other parts of the world as well. And I'll cite the example of the Polish community, because currently, as I said, I'm responsible for community affairs, and I thought, well, I'll mention this because I've been involved with a project that should see fruition on the 18th of May. 18th of May is the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Monte Cassino, where Polish regiments took the hill, which was important in terms of enforcing the sort of march on Rome after, in 1944. So the Polish community, both old and new, and Leek have thoroughly embraced this idea, and their whole series of celebrations of Polish art and culture, music, dance, food, that are being held in the area during that week of May the 18th. So clearly the Polish community are a community within a community, and to talk about a sense of belonging is very strong. I was also told, Massimo has touched upon the attractions of Leek, its closeness to the national park, the Peak National Park. For example, its nearness towards Manchester, and also on a clear day, I know that he likes going there. You can see just about make out if you stand on one of the tallest hill in around Leek, you can just make out the Anglican Tower of Liverpool Cathedral, 50 miles away. And I know he likes to go to Liverpool, don't you? Yes. Oh, okay, he's confirmed that. So, sense of belonging in young people. I am a father of a 20-year-old girl, Phoebe. She is a sustainability officer at a leading manufacturer in the area, make adhesives. So she, obviously, the thoughts, her ideas, I meet her regularly. We have chats about the future and what she thinks about the future. I think the context of the UK and also Italy as well, if I may say so, as they both have aging populations. In the case of the Staffordshire Moorlands, our average age is around sort of 47 years of age. So the issue around aging populations and how we come to terms with aging populations and what we do about our aging populations is one that's quite important for us. I'm actually launching a project on, and I'd like to talk in the context of an Italian context, social isolation and loneliness. So that's something that, in terms of an aging population, how we tackle this as a sort of social issue. Right, in terms of issues facing young people particularly, issues of, for example, affordable housing, living in an area which is housing and cost of living is increasing. The issues of environment, and of course, we've had a project where people from Westwood College have come to, from Leek, have come to Este and participated in this whole series of environmental and biodiversity projects. The issue, for example, of AI, why I participated in a conference that was held in Este last September on the future of AI. And the conflicts, and I mentioned that we have had an influx of Ukrainian people from a conflict coming into Leek in recent times. And finally, the professor touched on democracy, and I think I want to end here because he mentioned how important it is. I joined the Labour Party in 1974, so it's coming up to 50 years. When I look from the context of 1974, it's important to realize how fragile democracy was in Europe. Spain was under a fascist dictatorship. Portugal was about to undergo the Carnation Revolution and the overthrow of a fascist regime in Portugal. All of Eastern Europe was under totalitarian control, as was Greece. Greece had the rule of the colonels in the early 1970s. So democracy, even in the context of a European Union, is quite a fragile flower. And I think it's an important message to put out there to everyone, that democracy needs to be supported, needs to be fought for, needs to be recognized, and needs to be put at the center of all our actions. I'll end there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bill. So, it's the time for Pertwee.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Here is some information about our city, Pertwee. It is a city of about 22,000 inhabitants. It's located between the South Alpen and the sea. It is a landscape of hills crossed by a river, La Durance. The main crop is vine. Pertwee is also known for potatoes which cultivate along the Durance fertilized zone. The main building of our city is a donjon. It's a sort of tower in the middle of the city. We are also a famous house. It is the house of the Queen Chains. The main activity of the city is present here. Briefly, obviously, we notably produce quality wine like Côte de Luberon. Is not equal to Bourgogne or Burgundy or Bordeaux, but it is a good qualities. In the village around the city, we shall be note that produce from Mediterranean plants, just as lavanders. We shall note that our city is close to the International Research Center, ITER, well known in the world. We must not forget the historical and cultural richness of the province. It's too long to speak with this in the moment. Finally, a few words about the activity of our twinning committee. We brings together more than 100 of members. Our main activity is to promote Italians through Italian culture, through conference, tips, so that, and we can build a relationship with our Italian friends. So we have to notice, we have with other twinning committee, with Germany, it is a city of Elborn. Spain, it is a city of Utiel, it is near Valence. And England, Halton. But now I apologize for the following of my presentation. I just learned it is impossible to show the video of the city of Pertwee. I apologize for this. Now we have had to about the reflection of the blending of the tenor of blending of Europe. The students of high school students of Val de Durance have built a banderia or a sort of guirlande that we can show after the presentation in front of the platform. We have 27 slide. You can see that. I apologize my so short presentation. Thank you for your attention. Yes, it is the class, and you show the student with his slide in her hand. Thank you. More time.
Okay, now the city of Rijeka will be presented by some students and Walter. Walter is the member of the committee who has more empathy and that help us in maintaining the friendship. Da giù. Sì.
Mi metto qui perché il dottore mi ha vietato di fare le scalini. Non vorrei salire, sì, ma dopo scendere. Allora io presento la città di Rijeka Fiume e ho il giovane collaboratore Dominique che traduce.
Salve. Hello everyone.
Basta così. Allora, presento la città. La città è la più grande fra le nostre gemellate perché fa 170.000 abitanti e anche ha un'altra priorità rispetto alle altre, che è l'unica città che ha il mare con delle belle spiagge.
So the city of Rijeka is the biggest city to do the exchange. We have 170,000 inhabitants, and it's also the only city that is exposed to the sea compared to the others.
Noi da tanto tempo frequentiamo la città e abbiamo fatto praticamente tante feste con loro, perché è la città più vicina che abbiamo e quindi in questa città poi, che fa 170.000 abitanti, il 10% circa sono italiani, anzi veneti come noi, parlano quasi come noi.
So being the closest city to Este, it's also the one which the city of Este had the most relationships with. There has been a lot of partying and a lot of events held together. And also the city, 10% of the city's population is consisted by Italians, or actually Veneti, so locals.
Con la fondazione Ileana, che era mia sorella, da tanti anni diamo delle borse di studio ai due licei, anzi il liceo italiano e il ginnasio croato, diamo le borse di studio e il prossimo anno è il 28° anno che diamo queste borse di studio.
So because of the foundation of the sister of Walter, they were able to provide a lot of scholarships, and this next year is going to be the 28th year in a row that they've been providing scholarships to the Italian high school and also another Croatian high school.
L'ultima cosa, fanno due cose bellissime, una è il carnevale di Fiume, per darvi un'idea sfilano circa 10.000 maschere e l'altra fanno copiando un po' da Trieste, loro la chiamano la Fiumanca, cioè una manifestazione di vela sul golfo del Quarnaro.
So last thing, Rijeka is also very known for its carnival, having about 10,000 people in a costume every year, and also similar to the, I would say, cousin city, Trieste, every year there's also a sailing competition.
Vi invito quindi quest'estate di andare a Fiume perché è bello e anche si mangia molto bene.
So we invite you all to come to Rijeka because it's very nice and the food is also really good.
Thanks a lot to all of you. Thanks, Walter.
Thank you very much. And now, last but not least, the city of Tapolca.
Buongiorno a tutti. Good morning to everybody. My name is Rita Kovács, and I am one of the coordinators of this fantastic project, Action. The other coordinator, the other organizer from Tapolca, unfortunately is not here now, but you will know him surely in June. The students, our students will present you the Tapolca town, and they are very glad to show you Tapolca. They come from a special high school. In Tapolca we have two high schools. One high school is a general one, and the other one is a special high school where these guys, these students can know a lot of professions. And one of the students is Annabella Nyari, and she is learning tourism. And the other student is Kovács Boglerko, and she is learning to be confectioner. So now I give them the word.
Hi, I work in a confectionery in Tapolca named Dolce Cukrászda, and we are presenting this to you. Can you? So we have a beautiful basin in Tapolca, which is called Valley of the Volcanoes. The main attractions are Csobánc Hill, Lake Balaton, and Cave Lake. And we're famous for our Cave Lake and Mill Pond, which is connected under the ground. We have a lot of traditions, mostly harvest party, Easter sprinkle, witch burning, and we have a dance group, which is called Bacsányi Folk Dance Group. We have trout festivals, wine festivals, Mill Pond Festival, which is all located in the Mill Pond. And we have a lot of car festivals. They arrive to this city, and we can maybe try it out sometimes. We have a lot of curiosity, a beautiful theater, museum, and a big library. I love this library so much. I went there a lot of times. And we have this interesting thing that we have a lot of statues around the city. One of Tapolca's main attraction is the Mill Pond, which I mentioned earlier. We have two parts of this, Alsó and Felső tó, and there are two mills there. And it's a beautiful place because there are a lot of restaurants, bars, hotels there. And as I mentioned, the Trout Festival and Wine Festival are there too. We have the main square, which was the former marketplace and functioned as a trade center in the ancient times. We have there the Holy Trinity statue and the Little Princess. We have a picture of the Holy Trinity. And And the most unique touristic attraction is the cave lake. It's a 3-kilometer long cave system situated in the heart of Tapoelza. And we can explore the cave in small boats, and we have cold course water and thermal water there.
This relationship with Tapoelza and Este is really important for us. We wish to share our culture and get to know each other better and form beautiful friendships. Our relationship has started in 1999, and Tapoelza has a really interesting past with Italy, and there are lots of common points. For example, our music school, which is located in the downtown area of Tapoelza, and it was made by an Italian store carver. In Balaton Upland, he also made beautifully decorated wells, which are still in use, and his grave monument is found in the museum garden in Tapoelza. The first documented connection was way back in the 11th century, when Könyves Kálmán, who was the king of Hungary, married a Sicilian woman, Felicia. But the most important part with our relationship with Este is that András, the second Hungarian king, met Beatrice d'Este on his trip to Italy, and they got married in Hungary. We had a lot of great memories together. For example, our Italian friends visited us in Hungary in 2023, and they went on a trip together to Szentgyőr Mountain, and the Hungarians have also went to the flower festival in Este, and they made some other great programs together. For example, cave visiting, cooking gulyás, which is a traditional Hungarian dish. It's a soup. And they went on a trip to Csabánc Mountain, and they were swimming in Balaton Lake, and they were eating lángos.
Okay, and last but not least, so Tapoelza and Este, we are twinning cities since 2001. We signed the contract in that year, but 2 years before the 2001, so from the 1919, we became to come to Este. And there was a lady, Hungarian lady, who was living here near to Este. But unfortunately, she's not more alive, but she was a doctor, and she made a relationship between Este and Tapoelza, bringing students from the music school to Este. So the students were playing music here in Este, and just in 2 years we will also have this anniversary, the 25 years twinning cities with Este. And I would like to say that we are really very glad to participate in this program. We would like to say a special thanks to Erika, but also to Andrea Quadarella. He is not here anymore, but he was beginning this program. It's really a fantastic opportunity also especially for the students, because for somebody of them, this is the first time that they can come to Italy. Also, maybe the first time just to come to abroad. And I was here already several times, and every time the most beautiful thing was to see these guys, how they were happy with this opportunity, because also yesterday they could speak with the Croatian students, and I also remember it is so fantastic when the world opens for you. So in the afternoon, we will continue to know each other because I will present our project, our program in Tapolca. And we are glad to see you soon in June there in Tapolca. And also other twinning cities can know our Tapolca city. So thank you very much and see you soon.
Thanks to you, Rita, and to all the students for your presence.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution. It is not obvious to have this contribution, and every time all our twinning cities respond with a great interest and enthusiasm to our requests, so thank you very much. Okay, who would like to remind that this is the first event of the project Action. Next events will be hosted by our twinning cities. In June, as said before Rita, so we will be hosted by the city of Tapolca from the 17th to the 20th of June. Then our friend organized a very rich program which we will share with you tomorrow because we have a banquet of the twinnings in the principal square. So you are welcome if you want to join it. Then we will be hosted by the city of Bad Windsheim in July. And in July we have also an event in the city of Pertuis for the Corso Fleury. And so we will be there from the 11th to the 14th of July. Okay. So if you want to subscription, you can contact our committee. Okay. Now we have some associations of our territory which would like to say something about the European Union and their sense of belonging, which will express organizing and involving in many activities of our cities. So the first is Laboratorio delle Idee.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in Este. I'm Silvia, and I present the Ideas Laboratory. We in Este have this Ideas Laboratory that is a permanent periodic table of the municipality of Este to listen the ideas of young people. During the laboratory meetings, the municipality presents the project for young people. The young people also presents their project, and then together we decide which project to carry out, and we form the groups that will carry them out. Now, at the laboratory, we have boys and girls from 17 to 27 years old. Today, some guys from the laboratory are here with me. So there is Mariam and Matteo, and then Sebastiano, Andrea, and Carlo Alberto near me to tell you their ideas of Europe. Have you got, or do you have, an ideas laboratory in your country? I think it's important to have an ideas laboratory because if we teach guys to perceive the institutions as a support for their growth, they will be better citizens not only of Este, not only of Italy, but of Europe. Thank you very much, and sorry for my English not so fluency. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvia. So, good morning to everyone. I'm Andrea Toma, and this is my first time participating to this project, so I'm glad to be there with all of you. So, I'd like to talk about Europe in a more personal way, about what I feel as a European citizen. So, where is Europe? For me, Europe is the unity of our history, of our art and culture. To share them as a single big population, providing to share our valor and proving what we are. Every single country is like a puzzle piece that creates the picture of what we represent with all our knowledge and tradition. So, as let's talk to share with my words, we are Europe, and we have the duty to demonstrate and represent the beauty of our countries. Thanks.
Thank you. My name is Carlo Alberto. I'm from Este, so from here, and I'm an artist. And you'll say, okay, so how does it concern me? So what the hell do I... But the thing is that I would like to talk about Europe, so what it is for me as an artist, or how it should be for me as an artist. Because it is always difficult these days to be an artist, especially on social media where everyone can be someone for a moment. The third article of our constitution, of our Italian constitution, says that we should be, so the state should be able to make a person develop in the best way. So I should be able to develop myself and to develop my abilities in my country and also in Europe, because these countries are all united. And we are one, so we should all make this job possible, because for me Europe should be a place where insecurities should not live. There shouldn't be a place where I am insecure of myself, or I am insecure about my job, about my future, about how I should be and what I will be. So yeah, I would like to be free as an artist to do my job everywhere I go, and that's the point of my words here. Thank you.
Good morning, fellow delegates and also auditor. I am Sebastiano. I am a student of University of Padua. So I'm here to speak about what means European Union for me. It's a tough question, a complex one, because as a student in this topic, I had an idea built on my study, and in particular on the aspect of European Union, the legal one and also the historical one. But thinking about this little speech, my idea became clear. I'm very interested in European Union and also in the opportunity that European Union gives to us. The possibility, as the colleague from Germany said, to move around the country of the European Union, and also the ability to work in this country, study in this country. The Erasmus program is very important for us. So I think I also be very lucky to be born as the last generation of the 20th century, because I don't saw the war and the hardship that our country seen throughout that period. So I live with a little speech from Hugo. There is nothing like a dream to create the future. Thank you.
Thanks to all of you, and also to Silvia Bottaro, that is also a member of our town council. Thanks, really, for all. Now we have the next association, Cenacolo. It's an enjoying moment because also they use instruments for us.
Hi to everyone. I'm Mirko Borsetto, president of Circolo Musicale Cenacolo. It is a no-profit association founded in 2001 in Villa Estense, a small town in near Este. Our main goal is, sorry, because I don't speak English. Our main goal is to share the passion and the practice of music through the development of projects and activities, musical activities. To achieve this, we offer various courses of musical instruments like guitar, bass, pianoforte, keyboards, singing, and many others. And as well as we also provide entertainment for events like concerts. Now we listen something, and animation and many other activities. For the last couple of years, we also started to offering our activities in Este at Casa delle Arti, thanks to the collaboration with Fantalica, another no-profit association that works here also in Este. Now we are going to listen Martina and Federico that they present two songs, and I want to thank the municipality of Este, and I leave you there.
Thank you.
You have to sing with us.
Yeah.
Time to regret in this regret, but this same all safe bad. Me in my head, I and my tears dry, but all that got my guy. And back to what you knew, so far removed from all that we went through. And I tread a troubled track, my eyes stack, and I go back to black. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times, and you go back to her, and I go back to her. I go back to us. I love you much. It's not enough, and you love blowing
Thank you.
Parlami come il vento fra gli alberi. Parlami come il cielo con la sua terra. Non ho difese ma ho scelto di essere libera. Adesso la verità, l'unica cosa che conta. Dimmi se fare qualcosa, se mi stai sentendo. Avrei cura di tutto quello che ti ho dato. Dimmi, siamo nella stessa lacrima, come un sole e una stella. Siamo luce che cade dagli occhi sui tramonti della mia terra, su nuovi giorni. Ascoltami, ora so piangere, so che ho bisogno di te e non ho mai saputo fingere. Ti sento vicino, il respiro non mente, intanto dolore, niente di sbagliato, niente, niente. Siamo nella stessa lacrima, è come un sole e una stella. Siamo luce che cade dagli occhi sui tramonti della mia terra, su nuovi giorni in una lacrima. È come un sole e una stella, e siamo luce che cade dagli occhi sui tramonti della mia terra, su nuovi giorni. Sì, il sole mi parla di te. La luna mi parla di te. E anche se dentro una lacrima, come un sole e una stella, siamo luce che cade dagli occhi e sui tramonti della mia terra, e su nuovi giorni in una lacrima. Come un sole ed una stella, siamo luce che cade dagli occhi e sui tramonti della mia terra, e su nuovi giorni. Ascoltami, 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 ascoltati. Thank you. Grazie.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we have Rugby Este.
Hello, hello. All right, we are very happy to have you here, Renato, myself, Matteo, and we are very happy to introduce you to get your focus on something that hopefully could be something slightly new in this twinning interchange that since many, many decades we are carrying on. In fact, we call Scora Try Together. I would like for you to focus on the word together. And just before going a little bit more deep, let's introduce yourself as Rugby Este. Rugby Este has a long history, more than 50 years. And Rugby Este has been very linked, very near in the community of Este because we are Este people and we provide a strong giving back to the community as well, through good times, through hardship, but every time with a strong spirit that comes from our sport. And we would like to hopefully introduce this strong spirit inside the twinning concept. In the sense that, probably many of you already knew, but our sport is open to all, is open to whatever type of physics, whatever type of spirit, whatever type of culture you have. And in reality also we are stronger building communities because we are part of a community, we stay together, we play together, and day by day we are together in the same town. And it's very linked as well, not only, I would like to say, not only to European values, but in reality, if you think that 200 years ago, Webb Ellis from the town of Rugby started a run with a ball in the hands that spread up throughout Europe. Today, all the European countries are very strong rugby movement, but not only Europe, in reality globally, Australia, New Zealand, Samoa, South Africa, US. So everyone loved and understand the values that are behind this sport. And these values are not only the European culture that spread up through the world, but also value like integrity, passion, respect of the rules itself, respect of the opponents. These are the foundation of our sport that through all this long history are continue to be promoted inside the community. And especially in Este has been the cradle a couple of decades ago, 20 years ago, something more, something less, of the born of the Italian Touch Rugby Federation through the European Rugby Federation. And touch is very interesting because it's a particular part of our rugby sport that has no contact and is very open to everyone, women, men, kids, and is basically very nice because it lets you enjoy to the wonderful run on the grass field with a ball and be happy together and celebrate in the third half all the values of our sport. And since Este has been the cradle of touch rugby, we would like to think and to let you think, to open up the proposal starting from next year, and we would like as well to experiment this year, 2024, proposal of start to hold with all of our twinning city a rugby festival on touch rugby, open to everyone. Could be a very nice occasion to integrate, to inject the rugby spirit in the twinning, and to be more near, and to be more together in a lovely third half. We start this year, we think if we can, to have an experiment with the small town. We start to contact few towns because we found out that all the twinnings has rugby teams. And we start to link with this, some of rugby teams, maybe for this year if we can, if we have the resources, but for sure next year we would like to, with the help of all of you, to hold up a very nice event, a rugby festival, where we could be more together and where we would like to see all of you running with the ball because it's open to everyone on a grass field. And thank you for that.
Vi dico una cosa solo.
Però parlo in italiano. Allora, io parlo in italiano, lui traduce. Questa mattina, vedendo le persone dell'IC, mi è venuto in mente una cosa. Noi facendo questa promozione intendiamo che nel percorso di questo, diciamo, incontro con le altre squadre gemellate vogliamo proporre anche della musica, nel senso che dopo la partita c'è il terzo tempo e c'è la musica. Mi viene in mente l'IC perché già qualcuno ha portato all'IC tanti anni fa i gruppi che vinsero nel Festival Este. Grazie.
Yeah, basically, I didn't highlight, but you probably some of you know that every time after a big, intense match of rugby, there is the third half. And third half is a moment where we stay together, we enjoy. We are thinking also to add music to the event. We are thinking to expand and to relax and to be more together and share the rugby passion. So thanks again.
Thanks to Rugby Este, that is important association that deals with the sport here in Este. But thanks also to the sport associations, because sport is important all over the world, but especially also in the European Union. Now we have Gruppo Tamburini di Marendole. It's a nice group from the near city of Monselice, and they are very, very nice. So we can hear them.
Good morning, everyone. We are a small part of the drum group of the Marendole Contrada. First of all, I'm Milenia.
I'm Nicolò.
Elena.
Giacomo.
Gaia.
Martina.
So for those of you who are not familiar with the words Palio Contrada, I don't know if you have ever heard about the Palio of Siena. So we do a similar thing, just smaller. Palio is a festival of medieval origin, and Contrada is a city quarter that participates in the Palio. So Marendole is one of the 9 contrade that take part in the Palio of Monselice. The main event that we participate in is the Tenzone, which is a drum competition. But throughout the year, we take part in other events that might be medieval or normal events. So, when we were asked what being part of the European Union means to us as a group, the first thing that came to us was the possibility to travel without a visa or a passport that nowadays, especially in Italy, are hard to get quickly. And the possibility to travel to another member state was given us by the municipality of Este, which we thank again. In 2020, they asked us to join them to the Rijeka Carnival in Croatia. And we think that Walter asked us for firstly, so thank you. And since then, we join them and go with them to Rijeka, and we take part in the parade with them as we play the medieval drum. They gave us a big opportunity to visit a new place, meet new people, especially, as they said before, the Italians that are currently living there, that although being Italians like us, have a different cultural background. Being part of a group is already an enriching experience, but being able to travel, meeting new people is a really great opportunity of growth, and also we can experiment a cultural contamination. And for this reason, we identify ourselves with the European Union aim of defending our rich culture and the difference of our languages. So I'm now going to read you some of the phrases that my band mate said while we were brainstorming this topic. So, Silvia, that is not here today, said that this citizenship gives us the freedom of traveling to share our music and learn something new from the customs and traditions of the countries. Marco said that we can always meet new people, cultures, and let other people know, either in Italy or in Europe, about our city, Monselice. Elena said that being an EU citizen allows us to improve our musical skills since we are part of a wider community. And finally, Giacomo, also known as Giacomino, said that music is a universal language. It connects and tears down differences and borders. The core of being an EU citizen is the same as being a musician. You feel like you belong to something that connects you with the other people. So thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much, Erika and Beatrice, for inviting us and giving us the chance to share our point of view about this topic. So, if you are curious to follow us, if you want to have us during one of your events, here you can find our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube profiles, where we post more serious stuff and also funnier posts that I think perfectly represents the crazy life of this group. And also you can find the phone number of Riccardo, which is the president of the Contrada, and Elena, the drum group representative. So if you would like, we have a small performance that we would like to share with you. And thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Okay, now we have Villani on the road.
Good morning to everybody. I'm Claudia and I'm a president of Villani on the Road, a no-profit association. Our association is called Villani on the Road. The origin of the name comes from the name of our country, Villa Estense. The association is very young. It's born on the 12th September 2023 by a group of 14 people, friends, united by a passion of walking and running. The running group aims to promote the area and its landscapes and architectural characteristics through sport and walking. Furthermore, days and meetings are organized for charitable purposes and initiatives. The group includes athletes who want to train to participate at the most important marathons like Bologna or Venice. My leg is broken because I broke my leg at the last marathon of Bologna. It's all okay. I hope. The group meets every Tuesday evening at the Villa Estense Sport facilities for a free walk for who want to spend an hour together in open air. After the walk, we all stop together for a few minutes of convivial refreshment. It's a moment of aggregation and smile for everybody. Through the application lens of arts, the group alone to discover historic buildings of our area, like churches, palaces, but also legends, narratives, through a QR code position it in front of the place of interest that you encounter on the route you are following. The morning on Sunday, 19 May, is dedicated to charitable purposes through the first Walking in Pink, organized with the Riprogettare la Vita Association of Este, with the patronage of the municipality of Este. All proceeds from the event will be donated to the support the women affected by breast cancer in the physically and psychologically recovery process. It was a pleasure meeting you and introducing you our group. Thank you to everybody, and particularly to the municipality of Este and to Erika for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks a lot to this sport association that is really active in the neighbor of Este, Villa Estense, but also Granze, that is the partner of our European Union project. Now we have AIA, section of Este, Gruppo Arbitri Italiani, football referees. So they present themselves and they say something.
Good morning to everybody. We don't have a PowerPoint presentation, but if you know football, you know referees. Here in Este, we have a section of the great association, Italian Association of Referees, AIA, appunto, Associazione Italiana Arbitri. Became a referee is a great opportunity for young. You can start 14 years old boys and girls can become a referee. It's a great opportunity. The referee is mean have fun, mean ground in personality, make sport, and make the decision to take decision. Okay. AIA, Associazione Italiana Arbitri, make the opportunity for the young in Europe. On my side, Francesco talk about this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. In terms of opportunity, we have a newborn project. It is called Referee Abroad, that can emerge athletes, referee, and they can meet and they can see multicultural aspects from Europe and from all over the world. So young referees from Europe and from other parts of the world, and they have opportunities to grow themselves, and they can grow also other aspects of their lives. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your important role in Este. Then, thanks to all the other associations that are between the public, especially Este Medievale, Club Ciclistico, Virtus Sant'Elena, Scout Este, and thanks also to all the students of Liceo Ferrari and Atestino that are here today. So I give to Beatrice the final time of the conference. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you very much for this morning, all of you, all the actors. And so have a nice day and see you soon.